Hello. Can anyone hear me? Hi. I'm trying to figure out how this works. I'm still setting it up. Give me like 45 seconds. I think there's like 6 of you. I don't know how many people are gonna show up, but if you can hear my voice. Hello, Lucas. Thank you. So I guess this is a type of thing where I can read what you're saying. You're chatting with me, but I'm replying to you by this microphone and also on screen. So this is going to be awkward. I haven't really gone live like this before, but hi, Jessica from Arizona. Sue, thank you so much. Hi, you've always been to my live premieres. Thank you, Sue. Natalie from South Carolina. Wow, a lot of US. Melody, Julie from Alaska. Ooh, everyone here's from the US. Wow, I guess it's nighttime. It's Saturday night where you guys are. Florida, wow. New York, we've covered like every corner of the states. We haven't had California yet though. Oh yes, someone JG's from Southern California. So we've covered literally like all 4 corners of the United States. Maryland, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Wanda, Vincent, Maribel from New Jersey, Poland. Hi, Caitlin. Caitlin is how you say your name. Vegas. Jody, I'm sorry if I skipped your name. I wanted to try to say hi to as many people as I can, but sometimes it is difficult to keep up with the chat. But today, I guess we just want to catch up a little bit. There's a lot going on in the channel. It's a new year. And also, I wanted to show you guys, if we have a bit of time, I wanted to show you guys this setup behind me because it's super cute. It's got a lot of interesting stories about plant being rescued. This is my ICU or emergency care unit for houseplants. So there'll be a lot of interesting stories. And where possible, I actually want to show you this kind of my living room situation. Actually, you know what? I might start doing that. I might show you the living room first because I know people are still coming in and I wanted to make sure everyone's kind of in the room before we catch up properly. But let me show you the living room. All right. Ta-da! Look at that. This is new. So we had a Brazilian visitor come in 3 days ago. So I scrambled to put together my green wall. So I mounted up the staghorn ferns. And then I also did up the bookshelf here. I kind of tidied up a bit. There's some interesting features on the shelf, some interesting pots that I got from Thailand. So yeah, this is becoming more like a home now. It feels a lot homier. And of course, you guys will see this in details in my next houseplant tour, maybe an all plants tour video. Okay, let me set this back. It's a little bit crooked, isn't it? Hang on. Yeah. All right, let me say hi to more people. Where did I? There's Vincent, Carlo from the Philippines, Tim Garner, Wanda. Thank you all for tuning in. Some of you guys are from Asia. I know some of you guys from the States, and Poland is somewhere in Europe. So you guys are representing all the different time zones in the world. It's so nice to connect with you guys live. I might want to do this like once a year or so. And Stefanos Diki, he's from Indonesia as well. So we thank you. Welcome. And Felix from Chicago. Thank you. For those who tune in late, there will be a rerun so you can see the full broadcast later on. But from Japan, Fukuoka, nice. It's so nice just to see people from everywhere. It's like we're all connected, with this common passion, and for my channel to be able to reach out to all the people from across the world. It's very humbling. Thank you. It's from Mexico, Achilles, Sisa from the Philippines, and Velvet, dear Velvet from London. I might have to stop reading names soon. I'm sorry, because it's just it's impossible to keep up with so many people from El Salvador, Ramses. So I just wanted to first of all, like, I mean, I wish I could ask each and every one how you're doing, but I guess I'm gonna try to do it just to see, just to try to get you guys to have a short sentence to let me know what's going on, what you're doing, or how you're doing. Just a sentence in the chat, and I will read it. If I cannot read it now, I will read it after this broadcast ends, because I'm curious to know what everyone is up to. But actually, on my end, there's a lot changing in the channel. YouTube has changed its algorithm so much in the last year that it's like got a lot of creators like very whiplashed. I might actually do a video to talk about it, but if you notice a lot of the bigger channels, you know that a lot of people have quit YouTube. People are walking out from YouTube, or they've reduced their time on YouTube. There's a bit of burnout, but also lately we found, as creators, we found that YouTube has been challenging us to create more content, with shorts and with more competitive thumbnails. People want us, YouTube wants us to create more viral type content, and that actually takes a lot of time. And they are, they're obviously asking us to go live, which I am glad to do that. But shorts is taking a lot of our time. So YouTube creators are working twice as hard in 2023 and 2024. And our earnings have actually come down. Generally speaking, everyone's earning come down. And imagine working twice as hard and having your earning come tumbling down. So a lot of creators have, sort of left the platform or have reduced. I myself, I'm not leaving, I'm not quitting, but I just wanted to have a bit of a rant just to let you guys know where I am. We might see lesser content on my channel. This is just because the more video you put out on YouTube, sometimes it can even hurt our algorithm. As you can see in the last few videos, I put out like weekly videos, sometimes twice a week. And when people don't click on those videos, when people just scroll past it without clicking on it, it actually hurts the algorithm. So the more videos someone produces, sometimes it hurts them. So it is better to produce less videos at higher qualities. So you might actually see me put out a video every 2 weeks, every week or so, but the videos are going to be longer, they're going to be better. And if the watch hours are like, they're usually running at 30 minutes to an hour or so. If they're a bit long, simply watch it halfway through, and then you can continue it. You can watch it over a few weeks, because I'm not going as fast as I was before. So don't be worried about trying to catch my videos every week or so, because I'm trying to pace myself. And I know that you guys can also pace yourself with, like, I don't know, like, you don't have to feel like you need to catch up on all my videos. That's all I'm saying. But of course, if you have any thoughts on that, please do comment in the chat down below to let me know. But I do feel like the amount of videos I'm putting out these days, you guys are not catching up to that pace. So I'm going to slow down again, and I'm going to try to create more shorts, which is what YouTube likes. So if you click on the Onlyplants YouTube channel, you can go to the shorts section. There are a lot of shorts, and they're coming in almost on a maybe 2 to 3, sometimes even 5 shorts a week. So a lot of content is going to shorts, unfortunately. That's the world that we're living in now. Let me see. Tim Gardner just said mountain might yeah. So I'm gonna take a second to read from this, because it's so important to be present. You guys are writing some interesting stuff on the chat. Caitlin, it's 3 a.m. It's so sleepy. Thank you for tuning in, Caitlin, from Poland. But I guess we can start the episode now that we've kind of caught up, to show you some of the interesting plants that are behind me. So a bit of a backstory. This is like getting very good light. As you can see, that is a really strong indirect light, and there is a shelf behind me. So whenever we are rescuing a plant, me and the girls, and we know that something needs to be, we need to be watered carefully. We need to watch out for it, not let it dry out completely, but we don't want it to be overwatered. But we also want to get it good light. This is where these plants are living. So they are also getting decent humidity, around 60 to 70% humidity, because this is fully indoor. So it's not getting the high humidity that we have in the green wall, but it's still decent enough for them. So I'm going to go from bottom to top. And by the way, I have not seen these plants in I have not checked on these. I basically just turn on the camera and just rolled with it. So I will be as shocked as you are to see if there's something interesting happening here. But this, in this jar, I don't know if the camera is going to focus well or not. In this jar live oh my God, it's not going to focus. Let me try. Yeah. So I think there's some kind of setting for autofocus. And unfortunately, I don't know if we can get it to focus because I'm new at this camera thing. But this is a philodendron. Let me see if I can get close. Yeah, it is kind of focusing. Let me turn this around. Let me get my microphone. Oh my gosh, have I been recording with no audio? I think I have. Sorry. I think the microphone turned off. Ah, that's annoying. So quickly, I'm going to repeat what I just said. Sorry. These are HiSuria. So these are variegated biliatites that have completely put out all variegated leaves. And what I did was I just cut off the entire vine. You see the cut mark here. And as you can see here, two new growth points have emerged. I don't know if this is going to focus. Yeah. There's 1 and 2. So I'm very excited to see the baby leaves that's coming out. So when you have a reverted plant, you can definitely chop it off, and then you'll get multiple vines from them and a few opportunities. Hopefully some of these vines are going to be variegated, but these are the Philodendron biliatii variegated. So it is actually a plant that is still quite expensive nowadays. despite it being a kind of a quote unquote a rare plant for many years. But this is still quite a prized plant. Hi, Peter from Brisbane. Sorry, I couldn't get to all your names, but thank you guys for tuning in. This one here, this is actually a begonia black velvet. I just took a cutting and I stuck it in water. So I don't know if you can see here. It's put out like, this is actually very difficult. It's put out like baby leaves. You see that on top? That's the baby leaves. So let me show you what it looks like under there. Ta-da! These are all the roots. So this is actually very ready to be put in soil, but this has already put out a baby. So again, this area behind me is where we stick, emergency care plants. All these plants were on the brink of death. They were all literally like dying. And this here in this little Tupperware, I don't know if you can guess what's in here. Ooh, so yeah, I'm getting some comments on shorts. It's frustrating. It's honestly, while we're still in this topic, honestly, shorts are very annoying for us to create. It takes a lot of time to edit, because we have to chop something into like a 1-minute segment. But here's the thing. I've actually started to consume shorts, and it can be interesting. Shorts are a way to create viral, like I guess TikTok-like contents, whether you're clicking on like something like weird and interesting, something that generates a lot of hype, something funny, something hilarious. Those things get a lot of views. But I've also seen shorts, often used to find quick information. Let's say you have like a type of begonia and you wanted the quick care tips or propagation tips within 1 minute. Or let's say I've actually been working out quite a bit. So when I'm in the gym and I need to find out how to do a certain move, those long form contents can actually be like 8 to 10 minutes long, and I don't have that amount of time in the gym. So browsing through shorts is actually quite good in that. Or when I'm cooking something and then I wanted to find a tip of like, let's say, how do I toss the fried rice or whatever on a wok? Those things come out really fast on YouTube Shorts. So it's not as bad as I thought it was, and I can see how it's very frustrating, but it is the direction that YouTube is moving into. And the earnings from short is actually very, very low. It's much lower than long form content. Honestly, if I can choose, I would really love for YouTube to stay true to what they are, which is long form content, because that is why we go to YouTube in the first place. So we can tell these long and captivating stories. We can really engage with the audience in a deeper level. But YouTube has chosen to prioritize shorts. So if a channel, let's say, decided not to do any shorts, YouTube is not going to promote it's not going to show their videos to their current subscribers and also other non-subscribers. YouTube's going to bury your channel if you don't do shorts. I know this is evil and everything, but I see why they're doing it. So a lot of you guys are also realizing that my videos are not showing up on your feed anymore. Like when you browse on YouTube, you don't really see, despite you being subscribed to my channel, you're just not seeing my new videos come up. And that is also something that YouTube has changed the algorithm. If I looked at my statistics, I think around 80% of my new episode views are coming from non-subscribers. That means they're coming from people who are randomly exploring and searching and found these videos. So YouTube is also following the TikTok way of like letting people explore and see the world in a more diverse point of view. So it's changed. It's changed a lot. It can be frustrating. I don't fully agree with I can see why they're doing it, but I don't fully agree. But there's nothing I can do about that algorithm change, that direction that they're going. All I can say is I am still making long form content. I'm making less of it. I'm making it in a way that's higher quality, less frequently, because the more frequently I do these videos, it can punish me. especially when viewers don't, when people scroll past it and people don't click on it. And also these days, my thumbnails and the title of the video has to be very viral. It has to make people click on it. If it's not viral, if it's not like sensational, it's not like crazy, people are not gonna click on that video. So that is the world that we live in now on YouTube. It's like very hype driven. So I am spending more time on YouTube, but I am not necessarily growing the channel as much as I would like to. But this kind of algorithm change also has created space for new content creators. So now a lot of new creators can be discovered easily. So they're encouraging more and more content creators to come into the YouTube space. So there's pros and cons in that. Oh, Sam is here. If you see botanico no apartment. Sorry, I don't speak Portuguese that well, but Sam is on. Everyone say hi to him. He's that visitor from Brazil that came earlier on, and that's I actually set up this wall and this living room to welcome him to my home. He's the first YouTuber to ever film in my house. So maybe when his episode airs, I will reshare it and you get to watch the episode. But he's again my first ever visitor to come in and film in my house. Thank you so much, Sam. That is so sweet. I know that Sam is in Thailand now, and he's probably going to some plant show right now, and he's here live with us. This is like, thank you. I mean, I hope that you guys are doing well in Thailand. There's so much to see in Thailand, so thank you. And I know I missed out on some conversations here, but I will read it at the end of this. But we're gonna quickly go. Ryder says hello to Sam. Yeah, sorry, this is a bit distracting. I'm trying to balance in between like talking to you and here, but I wanted to show you this. So this is just like a dessert Tupperware that I bought. I bought something in. I don't know if you can see inside. It's actually quite fascinating. Yeah. So this here inside is an aglonema. It's an aglonema. Is it gonna focus? Focus. Yeah. You see all these vines that are appearing? That's the babies. So these are all basically just, let me take this one out. Let me take one out. Sorry to disturb you from your sleep. So this is just a stem. So what happens is I just threw it in this container, put some moss, make it moist, and then this is sprouting into a full plant. So you guys, when you guys are propagating your plant, let's say you are doing, for example, let's say you're doing a Diefenbachia, and you see all these stem, you can take the top cutting, but for the bare stem below, you can definitely do what I did back there. You can just put it in a lunch box, in a Tupperware, give it a moss, and forget it. They do need light though. That's why I have it in this bright spot here. They need light. But if you give it a few months, I've really literally forgotten about this, and it's grown. It's giving me about 7 or 8 plants in here. And this will make nice gifts for neighbors and family. So just a little interesting thing here. And I don't remember what this is. I really don't, but something's alive. Something's alive here. I don't know what this is. Yeah, I have a bad habit of not labeling my plants. But this is a philodendron fibrocataphyllum. They have a beautiful mature form. So I'm rooting this. It's already put out roots. So satisfying to watch. But I'm gonna try my best. I might do a video about it to grow this onto a pole and give it proper care, to give it to show you how to get to mature size, because the mature size of this plant, the mature form, is actually really, really, really beautiful. So I'm going to be doing this for a video for you guys. But even the babies are quite pretty. If you look at the leaves, the fibrocataphyllum. But again, it's a challenge to get them to a mature form. They require high humidity and constant vigilance and care. Let me show you. Now this here, these are beds of Dischidia ruskifolia. I don't know if this is going to focus. Yeah, As you can see, I just stuck the butterflies. I butterflied them on the moss, and now they put out like babies. And I've done the version where I put it inside. If you see, these are just like Starbucks like plastic cups. I might one day do an episode on how I can upcycle trash like this into plant care contraptions. So this is a regular pot, and you can just cover it. And this is going to seal in humidity nicely in there, and the plants are going to really thrive. And besides, it looks really cool like this. I should probably clean this because this looks very like this water stain. But if I clean it and you cover it like this, you're going to impress a lot of your visitors to your house. This is quite cute. I don't know what's in here. I'm scared to look. I don't think something's been living in here for a while. I don't think something's alive in here. Yeah, sometimes this happens, but if you open this, it's mush. I'm gonna throw this away. Sorry, it's taking a while to focus. Yeah, this is mush. So not everything is going to live. And I don't even remember what it is, but these are all like single stems of something in here. Let's see what else. I kind of want to show you this. This is I'm gonna give you guys like a few seconds to guess what this is. Can you guess what it is? I'm gonna count to 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So this is actually a Hoya Obada, and it's got a really interesting care story behind it. It died completely, and then there was like the leaves shriveled up. So I took cuttings. Even the cuttings of the leaf was shriveled. The leaf was not. This is like nice and succulent. So the original cutting, the leaf was already like wrinkly, like pruny and stuff. So I just stuck the cutting in here, just prayed for the best. I put 3 cuttings actually in here, and only one survived. And this is the one. This is the one vine that survived from a dying cutting. So sometimes when you have like a cutting that's not doing well, but you literally have nothing to lose, like why not, right? Just stick a bunch of them in soil or in water, and you'll be surprised. But the Hoya Obada actually hates overwatering. But then they have such beautiful, beautiful leaves. Like I actually really love the shape of the leaves. There's something calming about it. I think Obovada, I think it means round. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not good with my Latin. But yeah, there's another one here too. So I think there were a few pots that I did, and only these ones survived. But yeah, when your plants are on the brink of death, give them a chance. Stick them in water, stick them in soil. You will get something probably. Let's get to the top shelf. Yeah, we're not gonna do too much. We're almost done, and then next we can catch up. Those containers still need broad sunlight. Someone asked. Yes, they do. So these containers that you see here, they live right here on the shelf, and that's very, very good light. You need to give them bright light. So I've not tried, yeah, Cynthia, I've not tried water propagation. Water propagation, it depends on the species, but for me, I've had a lot of success. And you basically just use tap water. Again, depending on where we live, our tap water quality is different. Fortunately for me, I've had very good luck with my tap water, so I've been doing well. So there's a Hoya Caudata. This is focus. Hoya Caudata, look at how beautiful the leaves are. This is stunning. So this, I basically stuck it in water. And these are the new roots. Look at that. But I don't know if this is going to survive, because as you can see here, these are where the new vines are coming from. And oh my God, there's a peduncle here. This is so cute. There's a peduncle. This is a peduncle. This is where they flower. but it's dried up. And also I see that this vine here has dried up. You see all these, the node here looks very spent. So I don't think this is, yeah, this is not going to make it, unfortunately, even though it's rooted and it's got beautiful leaves. The Hoya, sorry, this is not a caudata. This is something else. This is something else. I can't remember the name, but yeah. So yeah, Jack said it will, that peduncle and Hoyas, when they put out a peduncle, it's like a little thing with a pendant. It will flower multiple times from that same peduncle. And you can also see how many times it's flowered before, because each flower will leave behind one ring. So when you have like multiple rings, you know that the peduncle is old. I've seen some massive peduncles, like it's like super large, like maybe flowered 20 times or so. It's quite beautiful. So when you have a Hoya, even the cuttings, when you have a Hoya cutting with a peduncle, that peduncle, if it's alive, it will continuously put out flowers. And so yeah, don't cut off your peduncles, because if you cut off the peduncle, it's not going to flower in that, it's not going to flower for a while anymore. So this also, we found a Ficus elastica tineke, really beautiful. It was like dying. It was creeping on the floor with like, basically a long empty vine, and this is the top. This is the tippy top of that vine. So we cut it. We threw away the rest of the bare vine, but we cut it, and this is the top cutting. But this is actually a very inexpensive plant now. It's considered a pretty common plant and easy growing, but beautiful. Look at that variegation. But I have a feeling this one is going to take off. It takes a while. Ficus, they take 3 to 5 months to root. So if you're thinking about, doing your cuttings for your Ficus elastica, do it now. Do it now rather than later, because they do take a lot of time. I think finally, I'm going to show you. This is also on the brink of death. This is let's focus. This is a Hoya Rusa. It keeps dying on me, and I keep having to rescue this Hoya. It's got like a nice grass-like structure to the leaves, but this one is actually, I can feel it's really well rooted. Oh my god, this is so satisfying to watch. So just stuck it in water, but this is ready for repotting. I should probably put this in a pot soon. But the care for these guys is like, you have to consistently water them. They don't want to be sitting in water, but at the same time, you also cannot let it dry out. They don't want to be dried out for too long. They cannot survive, because I think they don't have a lot of leaves. When you don't have so many leaves, you really have no storage facility. So yeah, this is not an easy Hoya, but you can see here new vines are appearing, and you can propagate them easily. Even though it looked like it's like a weird shape for a Hoya, like the leaf, but then it's the same exact method that you cut with the Hoya. You just cut the main stem and propagate. So I guess that's it now for plant rescue. I think, one more, just 2 more. Sorry, this is very cute. Maybe 3 more, but I'm gonna go fast because I know that some of you guys might. Peter asked, have I heard of a product called Holy Shoots? I have not, but I have a feeling it is some kind of a hormone or something that you apply on the shoots, just judging on the name of the product. That's probably what it is. So this is like a whole bunch of Dieffenbachias. The parent plant is actually very, very beautiful. So I just basically took these, let me pull one out. And you can tell, how cute is that? Look at that. This is like a little floating island of Dieffenbachia. Focus. So basically, I took a cutting like this. The cutting originally looks something like that. Sorry. Yeah, like that. And with the growing eye facing up, I just stuck it on halfway in. It's a semicircle semicircle that's exposed to air, and the other semicircle is under the soil. And it's given me these baby vines. So I have about 20 of these, by the way. These are actually quite pretty. I really really adore Dieffenbachias. And yeah, this is how it sprout from that. So when you have like different buckets, because sometimes they can grow into this long, like almost like a tree. You have this long stem. That's why I love looking at aglaonemas in public, because whenever I see that long stem and each of the rings, and then they have growing eye, the growing eyes are just staring right back at me. I love that, because I know that each of these growing eye has the potential to become a full plant. So that is exactly why I love plant and plant propagations, is because they will always give you, and if you look at the clues, you look at the structure, you look at parts of the plants that can give you new life. Like a peperomia, you can cut, just the leaf, you can cut the petal, you can cut the leaf in half, or like a begonia. If you look for, you understand, you study, there's these clues within their structure that hints at life, that they can give you more life. This is also cute. This is actually also just bare stem that I put in soil. This is the melanochrysum crossed with gloriosum. I don't know if this is going to focus. Yeah. So basically, there's a bunch of these. As you can see, a lot of them are coming into life. I'm really having a trouble getting this to focus. Sorry, let me come around. Yeah, there you go. So you see that these are all like this point here. This is going to give you life. So all of these have given me new shoots. And I just basically place them back here and I forget about them. They're getting good light. They're living in moss. And I just kind of spray down the moss lightly every day just to keep it a bit humid. But my humidity in this room is around 60 to 70%. So it's not low, but it's not high as well. If you want to increase humidity, if let's say you're living in the United States, Europe, your humidity is low, see if you can get a glass dome. If you can get a glass dome to kind of cover this, you can set it and forget it. Imagine like how pretty would that be if this lives in an inverted jar. So, give your plants a chance. When a lot of us over the pandemic, we collected a lot of plants, and some of these plants have overgrown. Some of them look leggy and they look horrible. They look ugly. Chop them up, chop them into sections, set it and forget them. They will give you a lot of baby leaves, and maybe you can trade them for, trade with each other, be in touch with one another to get more plants. This is another one as well. This is, I believe, the same plant. So I just basically took a bare vine. It did not have any leaf at all. It was just a vine. Let me see if I can take one out to show you. This is what it looks like. Sorry, let me change hands. This is what it looks like. It's a bare vine. And it's just given me a new leaf. So your plants want to live. They want to produce babies and they want to live. So if you it's such a it's such a small amount of effort to just literally just chop them up and place them growing side facing up. So that's what I always talk about in my channel, and how we can, different species have sort of different ways that you can care for and propagate them. And then, again, I have too many plants now. I don't even know what I'm going to do with all these cuttings. I don't really sell plants anymore. I used to, and it brought me no joy. So I might, I don't know, things are quite crazy and tight these days. I might do like a one-time for within the local community. I might, do some situation, maybe turn some of these plants into cash or do a plant swap. But I have so many. Yeah, I have plants that are propagating and rescuing away. Some of them I'm doing for videos to show you guys how to do it, but I don't really know what to do with them per se, all these cuttings. So we've got a bit of time, and I just want to quickly read through the chat to see if I can reply to anyone. By the way, if you have a question now is a good time to put your question. I'm going to be reading some of the newer chats. So if you have any questions, we've got like 15 minutes to cover them. So Peter Murdoch replied, I would love to see Philodendron cross red one with the white vein gloriosum. Melissa Ann asked for the care tips for Stephania erecta. Now, they are very, very misunderstood. The Stephania erecta, the seller told me that they love full sun They're also heavy feeders. So she explained to me that when they would wash vegetables in the market and fruits, and that water that or rice, that water that they use, they will use it to water the Stephania erecta. So they do want constant nutrient, full sun, and the soil. They cannot be, in my experience, if you let them dry out too much, they will suffer. But they're not like a succulent. They're actually a tropical plant from Thailand. So they don't want to dry out completely, but they also don't want to be wet. You can rot them and you can turn them to mush. So a lot of people have killed their Stephanias. I've kept killing mine and bringing it back to life, killing it, bringing it back. But I have the same Stephania for years, and it is now coming. It's in dormancy now. Oh yeah, and sometimes they can go dormant. So if they lose their leaf, just cut it and start it over. Don't worry about it. For me, I always get mealybugs on the underside of my plant, so I nuke it with pesticide. So just check, sometimes your Stephania might have pests, especially on the underside that is in contact with soil. G asked, have you tried honeydew plants or any carnivorous plants? I don't know the honeydew plant, but for carnivorous plant, I have the Nepenthes. I have a few species. I also have the Sarracenia here. That is the only carnivorous plant that I have. And the Sarracenia, I did an episode in my last plant care porn repotting video where I chopped a gorgeous Sarracenia into like 20 different plants. And they're living out there. That was done a month ago, and everybody is putting out new shoots. So you can propagate them by cutting. So one day I'll show you the Sarracenia update. But that is the only carnivorous plants that I have. Now, someone here, my house, someone set up a free store, drop plants. Ooh, that's so nice. Someone, I think it's someone from Thailand, because the name sounds Thai. It says, by my house, someone set up a free store where people can drop off the plants and people can pick it up for free. Just so you know, sometimes I do that too. When I have like a lot of plants and I'm overwhelmed, what I do is I just set my plants downstairs where I park my car. I just lay it out, and then I take a photo of it and I send it to my neighborhood group chat. And it says whoever wants to come and pick them up can do so. So that is also one way to get rid of plants. But sometimes, like for example, like this Dischidia here, some plants are a bit more complicated. They're more difficult to care for, and I'm a little bit afraid to share with other people, because if you propagated it and it looks nice and then people bring it home and then they kill it because it's a difficult plant, they may not be confident to pick up another plant. So I really want people to understand the plant they're bringing home, and to have the right skills and the right confidence to grow it. So it's usually the easier plants that I give away. Jack says, do you have the epipremnant skeleton key? I used to. They grow like weeds. They grow everywhere. And I've grown. If you look at my video in my episode, type in Onlyplants skeleton key. I've got one epipremnum skeleton key that's like this big as my face. And it's got this tiny little tail at the end. So I have not actually seen it in a plant market for a while now. I think they've maybe fallen out of favor, but it is a cute epipremnum, but it is so fast growing that it takes over a space too quickly, in my opinion. But it is a beautiful plant. What is your favorite rooting hormone compound, method of cutting, clones, and cheers? So Carl asked that, and I don't use any rooting hormone. I have bought like some random like Taiwan rooting hormone before, and I haven't found it to be especially useful. I haven't found that it's like helps a lot, but you can get again, every region will have different availabilities. There's this keiki paste, keiki spelled Keiki, keiki paste for orchids, but also you can use it. You can just take a little bit of it and you can apply to the growing eye of some plants, and I noticed that it does help that growing eye activate and sprout into vines. You can. So I wouldn't say that I have a favorite brand. I don't use many. I've not tried many, but they usually work. So just find one in your region. If you buy it online, you can read the testimonials, the reviews to see if people have success using that same product. It helps, but I still prefer the regular way, the traditional way. I just cut it and just stick it somewhere and forget about it. I don't really use rooting hormone that much. But of course, if you have expensive plants, you should probably invest in a good rooting hormone. Tim Gardner asks Homalomina, how difficult are they to grow? By the way, if you watch last night's episode in Bangkok International Exotic Plants, you will see a huge array of beautiful variegated Homalominas. They are coming into the market quite hot in Thailand, and I have a feeling that they will hit our markets, in Indonesia, Europe, US. They will invade our collection soon. Homolominas, they don't want to dry out complete. They're a cousin to the philodendron. They actually need light from above because if you see the homolominas, the leaves are always like facing up, and then they grow in a rosette pattern. Because if you grow them in a situation like this, the homolominas might uh, what do you call the leaves might etoliate towards the sun. So they really are better to be grown, where you have nice even top light, gentle light from up above, and they don't want to dry out completely. Unlike the philodendrons, monsteras need to dry out between watering. Homalaminas, you kind of have to keep them a little bit moist. But here's the trick with them. Um, Moist doesn't mean you want to douse them in water or drown them. You don't. So with Homalaminas, you definitely need to give them a very, very airy or chunky potting media that is kept slightly damp at all time. Like imagine like a humidity around the soil, but you don't want it to be compacted with water. So again, top light, and you want to keep it moist evenly throughout, not let it dry out completely. That's general care for Homalaminas. VB asked, "Do I have colder seasons?" I don't have colder seasons. It's the same temperature here every day. Um, there are a lot of wild carnivorous plants here in Florida, but I've heard they're quite tricky to grow at home. Yes, Carl. Some of them, I think, from Florida, you have the trap. What do you call it? The Venus fly traps. You do need to hack your environment. They need full sun. They do require a dormancy period in winter. So during winter time, people either stick them outside or put them in the freezer and then bring them back out in spring. So they are a little bit challenging. We don't treat them the same. We don't care for them the same way as houseplants. But if you adjust your care correctly, if you become kind of an expert, if you become used to their needs, they actually are not that difficult. But again, it requires a level of experience. Ryder, I don't Alocasia lauterbachia. Any tips? I don't. Sorry, I don't know this plant yet. But if you watch last night's video, there's a variegated Alocasia lauterbachia that is so beautiful. Check that episode if you want to see what that looks like. But my dad has one, and he grew it outside in partial shade. So that means it gets a little bit of direct sunlight sometimes, and it's doing well for the plant. Morning, Tulika's Craft Kitchen. Let me see. I might have to let you guys go soon. I have another call to make. So are pipers difficult to grow, Melissa Ann? Yes, they are. I have a few pipers, but also, again, I want to refer back to last night's episode. There are some beautiful pipers. If you look at my Instagram story right now on my Instagram account, you'll see a tricolor piper. So it's a piper with the tricolor variegation. It is literally the prettiest thing I've ever seen. Now, here's the thing. Pipers are actually very fast growing. They are. But the thing is, they need some humidity. They don't need as much humidity as a lot of those crazy like forest plants, but they need some kind of humidity. They need consistent. They need a constant environment. They don't do well when you move them from one place to another. They need their potting mix to be slightly. Their growing media has to be slightly moist. They do not want to dry out. If you let them dry out, you will see on the leaves. They will tell you. They will not forgive you if you let them dry out too much. But at the same time, you can also overwater them. I've overwatered a lot of pipers. They need very good light, very good airflow. If you put them in a medium light or low light situation, they will do so badly. So pipers, again, it's I would say more for advanced plant parents. But if you keep your eye on it, and also with pipers, if you buy one, they're easy to propagate. They're far easier to propagate than to acclimatize or to care for. So you can always propagate them in water. So when you get like a piper and it's like a nice length, the first thing that you can do is just chop it up and prop them in water. That's my best advice for you with pipers. Don't buy one. Like usually you buy them as a single strand. Unfortunately, that's how they come in. Cut it up when you get it. It's not going to do well in your environment. They don't like repotting as well. So if you even like have to, add soil to it or change the media out, it's high risk. So it's better to just cut them up, water prop, and start over. That's my tip. Oh yeah, and for any of the questions here, you guys know, if you know the answers, you can help me answer too. If you but I'm going to take one more question because I really got to go soon. Catherine asked, do you use candle wax to seal cuttings before you propagate? When you propagate? Never. I never did, but there are pros and cons to it. When you put wax over it, of course, it seals that cutting. It prevents any pathogens or infection to get into the cutting. But at the same time, those cut ends, when you cut a stem, I'm going to try to show an example if possible. Those cut ends here, like if you seal this with wax, they cannot take in moisture because these cuttings, they still need to have some ambient humidity and water from the media come into the stems. So there are pros and cons to it. I would say use whatever method that you're more comfortable with. For me, I've had huge success by just not doing any wax, just cutting it and sticking it wherever. Let me see. Thank you, Jack. That's so kind of Jack K says thank you. But by the way, I read all my comments. A lot of you guys have written like thank you and all that. I read them and I reply. Not only because I reply for two reasons. I read all my comments. So when you comment on all my videos, number one, it helps with the algorithm. YouTube knows that I have good engagement. That's why I reply to every single comment, because when you write a comment, it counts as one comment. And when I reply, it counts as two comments. And the more comment counts there is, the more likely YouTube will refer the video to other viewers. But for me, it is common courtesy as well. Like when people DM me on Instagram, most of the time, 90% of the time, I would reply, say thank you. I would reply with an emoji, because this is just human connection. This is just something that, you guys took the time to say hello. Or when you write empowering message to say, to tell me how my videos have helped you guys, it empowers me to do more. I'm someone who feel charged by positivity. I like building things. And when people say thank you, just like a simple emoji, it empowers me to do more. So yeah, thank you for those empowering messages, by the way. Yeah, Catherine says, I've seen you use charcoal. That's right, Catherine. Thank you for pointing that out. I don't use wax, but I do use charcoal on it. So it's activated charcoal, and some people use cinnamon. But yeah, again, to answer that question with the wax, I don't use the wax. But sometimes, by the way, sometimes when I'm not filming, I don't use the charcoal. I'm just lazy. But of course, when I do a video and all that, I do recommend to kind of sterilize it using charcoal, or some people even use like cinnamon powder. And cinnamon powder is known to have some kind of rooting hormone benefits, but then they're expensive. Cinnamon powders can be expensive. So I just use activated charcoal, and it's food grade. In case you want to get there, you can buy like a tub of the activated charcoal for nothing, for like under $10. So thank you for pointing that out. Yeah. Anna asks, do you know the date of the next Floy in Jakarta? I would travel. Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I would, by the way, if any of you want to come to Floy is a plant event in Indonesia. I vlogged about it. I think it was in October or November last year. The next one, which should probably be around October or November this year. If you guys are coming in from abroad and you are attending the show, for sure I will be going as well. It would be nice to DM me beforehand, and maybe we can set up like say hi, take a photo together. It would be nice. So if you ever think about coming to Flowy, reach out, and I will do my best to come out and meet you. But for those of you who are traveling to Jakarta and you just wanted to on a regular day, like just on a like a weekend or weekday, I can't really meet you guys one-on-one. I don't have the energy. But if it's a major plant event, I would love to come say hi to you guys in person. With that being said, I gotta go. I've got to call my other. I'm doing my other business as well. So I actually am spending a bit of time with my soap brand as well, soap business. So I have a call with them in like 3 minutes. So I gotta let you guys go. But things are so it's a strange year for me. I'm working extremely hard, but honestly, I feel like I'm at the same. I'm like swimming. Like when you're swimming so far and the current is pushing against you, and you're not closer to the shore. The harder you swim, the further you are from the shore. That is sort of the feeling that I'm getting. This I know it's maybe it doesn't sound good, but I am feeling motivated. I'm working very hard, and I still love doing what I do, but it's been a tough year. And I know maybe like I'm watching like world events. I know that economy is not doing well. I know there's a lot of pain and suffering in this world right now. Things are, in some way we are progressing as a humanity, but at the same time, there's also a lot of things that are holding us back. So this has been a strange year, and I know that some of you guys have struggles as well. So I just want to, can I give you a virtual hug if you're not doing so well as well, if you're struggling. I am as well. And for those of you who are doing well, I'm happy for you. But with these kinds of life, I mean, I don't know. I feel really good. I mean, we have 71 viewers here. It's a little bit less than I thought. I thought there would be more people, but uh, it's such an intimate session, and I'm going to be reading the chats after this. I don't know if I can reply after the session ends, but I'm going to be reading all of this. And we will be doing this at least once a month. I don't know how you feel about that. Just going live once a month. So yeah, I'm going to bid you farewell now. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. And you guys took the time out to be with me, and I appreciate it. All right, I'm going to end the stream now. Take care, everyone. Bye.